Ciao and welcome to lesson 12, Lezione 12 of our course of Italian for beginners. As the title says, this course is for people who have never studied the language or those who have just started studying. Also for those people who want or need to revise certain basic rules or certain basic expressions. So this, as I said, is lesson 12, lezione 12. We've started obviously from lesson 1. And if you have just bumped into this video for the very first time, I would recommend, if you are a beginner, to start from lezione 1. Which is where we start covering the very, very basics. So information about yourself, and then building from there. It does make more sense if you follow in order the lessons in order, because we gradually add more and more information and more words, and so it is better if you follow it instead of just jumping straight halfway through what we have done already. Obviously, if you have already some knowledge of the language, you can just pick maybe the videos according to the title and see what you need. I'd like to mention here the fact that this is part of a playlist. As I said, the title is Italian for Beginners. And separately on the channel, there are other videos that are of varied topics and varied levels, meaning some can apply to beginners, but otherwise the others are more for intermediate or advanced level. So unless you have some knowledge, maybe or perhaps it's better to avoid for the time being those lessons, those videos. They're not lessons actually, they're videos of topics more for advanced, just because they won't make much sense at all. In fact, if you have only just started studying. And also sometimes in these lessons, the Italian for Beginners lessons, I do mention some of those videos which can be useful for you as well. So yes, it is a good idea to watch the videos that I mentioned, so you can maybe have some extra information about what I'm talking, and so more complete information. Right, so today we are going to talk about the verb to like. In Italian is piacere. And it does work, this verb, despite being such a useful and common verb and a common expression, because we always often say what we like or don't. In Italian, it works a little bit in a awkward way, really, or backwards way. We'll see now what I mean. So let me just share. Let me see where it is gone. So yes, here is the documents that I have prepared. So the page that I have prepared. So we're talking about verbo piacere. So piacere is translated with to like, to please, or for something to be pleasing to somebody. Sometimes also you can translate the verb enjoy in English into piacere, because in English the verb to enjoy is used quite often. I enjoy doing something. So instead of the actual verb to enjoy, you can use to like in Italian. It does really correspond to the same. And by the way, I do have on the channel one of my other videos, one in particular, which is dedicated to the verb to enjoy, how to translate enjoy into Italian, because even that can be a little trap somewhere, sometimes. So let's talk about piacere. So, and this is, in fact, you can also use it to express so what you like doing. For example, you can connect this video to the one a couple of videos ago that talks about our spare time, the things that we do in our spare time. So you can say, I enjoy going to the cinema, or I like doing a certain activity. So you can choose to use mi piace, I like instead. Right, so let's start from the beginning. So piacere, as we said, to like. It is a regular verb. However, as I said, it works in a slightly different way. It's not really a straightforward translation. What you're saying is not I like something. What you're saying is something is pleasing to me, or some things are pleasing to me. So this is the literal translation. So you can really learn it either, let's say, by heart or with an more intuitive method. So just learning exactly what you need, or otherwise also understanding the grammar behind it, or a little bit of both. Always helps, really. But at the beginning, you can really just learn the basics, which we're going to see just now. So how do we say I like? So in Italian, you have two options. You can say mi piace, or you can say mi piacciono. So mi piace is used, which is the one that you hear the most. And there is a good reason why, because it is used more. Mi piace is used when what you like is something singular, so an object, which is singular. Mi piace is also followed by a verb. So when I like doing certain things. Instead, mi piacciono, you hear it a little bit less because you can only use this when what you like is something plural. So let's see some examples. So these some examples on how to use both. So mi piace, for example, mi piace giocare a tennis. I like to play tennis. Mi piace leggere. I like to read. Mi piace fare sport. I like to play sport. Again, sometimes you can use I enjoy playing tennis, I enjoy reading, I enjoy playing sport. So this, as we said, mi piace, followed by a verb, which is in the infinitive. Do not say mi piace gioco a tennis, because that would be I play tennis. You need to say I like to play. I like to read. I like to do. Otherwise, so you have to use the infinitive of the verb. Do not conjugate these verbs here. So this with the verbs. The other one, mi piace, followed by something singular. So, for example, mi piace la pasta. I like pasta. You can say mi piace Marco. I like Marco. Mi piace il mare. I like the sea. So these are all singular objects or people, doesn't matter, something singular. And then, So as we said, mi piace singular with verbs, mi piace singular when you like just one singular thing, or mi piace when it's followed by plural. In this case, I didn't do this one. Doesn't really matter now, but just in case, I will just make it all the same. So everybody's happy. So, mi piacciono gli spaghetti. Gli spaghetti is plural. It's a plural noun. I like spaghetti. Mi piacciono gli animali. I like animals. Mi piacciono i libri gialli. I like crime books or books about crime. So this is, you can, as I said, just learn the basic expression just following these rules. Mi piace, followed by something singular or a verb in the infinitive, or mi piacciono, followed by something plural. This is the simple construction, the simple rule. And then obviously we can also go a little bit more in depth. So let's see. If you don't want to know anything more than this, look away now. So, as I said, what we are really saying in Italian is not I like followed by something, but we're saying that something is pleasing to me, or some things are pleasing to me. And that's why, let me just go back in what we've just seen. So when I say mi piace, yes, we are translating it with I like, but you have obviously noticed that we don't have io. We don't have io, which does mean I. We have me. In this case, me means to me. So literally, giocare a tennis, so playing tennis pleases me or is pleasing to me. This is exactly what you're saying. It is important to know what you're exactly saying if you want to use this verb in a more well, in a way which is a little bit more aware, obviously, of what you're saying, or if you want or need to use it a little bit differently. So we are going a little bit, as I said, a little bit more into deep well, grammar, understanding the construction of these expressions. So when you say mi piace, I wrote these ones for each of the persons, I, you, he, she, we, you plural, and they. When I say mi piace, it's pleasing to me. Ti piace, it's pleasing to you, one person. Gli piace is pleasing to him. Le piace, it's pleasing to her. Oh, this is also what's used for the formal. Ci piace, it is pleasing to us. Vi piace, it's pleasing to you, plural. Gli piace is pleasing to them. So this you can also learn by heart. And so any of these, piace can be followed by all the examples that I've given earlier. So piace followed by a singular or by a verb. Or otherwise, mi piacciono, ti piacciono, gli piacciono, etc. I've just chosen piace. We don't need to see an example for each of them. So piace o piacciono, you can have after any of these mi, ti, gli, le, ci, vi, gli, you can have either piace or piacciono, because remember that the verb in this particular construction is conjugated not on what somebody likes, but on what, so not on the person who likes something, but on what somebody likes. So if we like, I repeat, if we like something singular or a verb, we use piace with whichever person. If we like something plural, we use piacciono with whichever, any of these persons, as I said. So you can have piace or piacciono here. I chose piace also because it's shorter. And this one, so now we have two separate columns here. This is exactly the same. So in theory, you can say either mi piace or you can say a me piace. You can say ti piace or you can say a te piace. You can say gli piace or a lui piace. Le piace o a lei piace. Ci piace o a noi piace. Vi piace o a voi piace. Finally, gli piace o a loro piace. Can you see, in fact, this construction is a little bit more literal with the translation. In fact, this is really to me is pleasing. So something is pleasing to me. So yes, in from this point of view, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit closer to the translation from the point of view in English. You can see to me and then is pleasing. So it's exactly the same number of words. However, there are different there are rules or different contexts where you would use the first or the second. In general, let's say that we do use the first one more often. The second one in particular is for when we have a contrast or when we want to emphasize that, for example, I like this, but he doesn't or they don't. So we're putting more emphasis on the fact that one person like one thing and another person likes something else or they don't like it. So although, as I said, they do mean exactly the same thing, they are used slightly differently. So let's say normally we use the ones on the left. However, when we're putting emphasis on a certain person, liking or not liking something, we use this the ones on the right. Again, you can, for now, study them by heart. Later on, we'll see these things a little bit more from the grammar point of view. So it's a bit kind of, more complex grammar, but it's a little bit too soon to go there. We can see it a little bit later. Now, when we have the negative, when we want to say I don't like, it is important to see, for example, the difference between these two different columns. So in the first example, the non for the negative would go at the very beginning. Non mi piace, I don't like. Instead, if you're using this construction, the non has a different position. You'd say a me non piace, I don't like whatever we're talking about. So again, this one is something to just learn. You'll get used to everything. Everything when it's new, as I said before, it just looks a little bit overwhelming and scary, but then you get used to it. For the moment, I would say I would recommend, as I said before, to learn, concentrate on the column on the left and start memorizing at least mi and ti. Mi piace, I like, ti piace, you like, and piacciono as well for the plural. And here we have some examples. If you want to ask somebody if they like something. In particular, I chose this specific activity, let's call it. Ti piace andare al mare? Do you like going to the seaside or going to the beach? So we are using, as I said, the more common construction. Do you like going to the beach? And we have different options for the answer. Obviously, perhaps we like it, perhaps we don't. So if you do, you can say sì, mi piace molto. Yes, I like it a lot. Or you can say no, non mi piace. No, I don't like it. For example, this third option is, let's put it in a context because I'm using the second column, so where there is a little bit more emphasis on the person. Let's say one person is asking the same question, so this question to two different people. So when you're answering, you're giving your opinion and you know that the other person will give theirs. So the two opinions may be different, or even if they're not different, doesn't matter. You're putting emphasis on the fact that this is my opinion. So you can use, in this case, a me instead of me. So to the question, ti piace andare al mare? And in fact, in this case, they could also choose, for example, to ask the question at a specific person first and then the other person. So in theory and in practice, they could choose to say, a te piace andare al mare? Do you like going to the beach? And what about you? E a te piace andare al mare? So I say, do you like going to the beach? What about you? So this is the difference between using ti and a te. If you say ti, it just, do you like going to the beach? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Instead, if we have two people, we can say, do you like going to the beach? And what about you? Do you like it? So we know that there could be more than one opinion. So to this question, perhaps one person has answered, a me sì, I do, I like it. And perhaps the other person has answered with, a me no, I don't like it. So it is saying, I do, and the other person, I don't. So that's why we're using this a me for more emphasis. You say, I do like it, but perhaps the other person doesn't. So this is going a little bit more in depth, really, with the construction. So what is behind the verb piacere, the verb to like. But it is, for the time being, it's as complete as is probably a good idea to have at this stage, but we will come back to this verb piacere. So as I said, a little bit to recap. So mi piace with verbs, mi piace with when we like something singular, mi piacciono when we like something plural. As I said, we have the verb, you can have piace or piacciono here with all the different persons. This is what we would normally say. However, when we want to put emphasis on a specific person, for example, we can use this construction. We use these constructions for in other cases as well, but for now, I think this is enough. Otherwise, it just gets a little bit too complicated. And then do not forget the negative, the position of the negative non with the two options. So I'm going to stop here with this. I hope this has been useful, and please feel free to ask for explanations or more examples, and feel free to ask or to say if it's not clear enough for you, or if you want to know a little bit more. Meanwhile, thank you very much for liking, subscribing, sharing, and leaving comments on the video. And please don't forget to subscribe when you do, and to like when you do watch a video. And so this was lesson 12, lezione 12, and I will see you on our next lesson, which will be lesson 13, lezione 13. So ciao, ci vediamo la prossima volta. Ciao!